I can't wait for people to hear the new music, but there's a song called Safe.
Yeah,
Is he somebody that makes you feel safe?
very safe. In both ways.
You ever watch an old interview and think to yourself, nah, this did not age the way that I thought it would? Because right now, an old interview from Cardi B is making the rounds again, and fans are saying it hits completely different after the recent drama allegedly involving Stefon Diggs. And before we go any further, let's be clear, everything we're talking about today is allegedly, according to reports and based on clips circulating online. Nothing has been confirmed, and this is strictly commentary on public interviews, fan reactions, and online speculation. But with that said, let's talk about why people are suddenly looking at this old interview in a whole new light. For anyone who's been online lately, you might have noticed Cardi B's name trending again, not because of music, not because of fashion, but because of speculation around her personal life. According to reports, fans have been closely watching recent headlines of social media activity, and fans believe certain moments and comments from the past are now lining up with what's allegedly happening in the present. And that's where this old interview comes in. They himself joking, laughing, but also dropping some surprisingly serious thoughts about relationship, trust, and fame. Back then, most people brushed it off as just Cardi B being Cardi, but now, with everything that's been circulating online, people are replaying those clips and saying, hold on, this sounds different now. In interviews, she talked about loyalty, about how people switched up when cameras are around, and about how trust is one of the hardest things to maintain when you're living in the public eye. At this time, it seemed like general advice, wisdom gained from experience, but now found perfect on the outside, while behind scenes things might be completely different. Again, nothing specific, nothing named, just her personally be connected. Let's talk about the online reaction for a second. Social media has been doing what social media does best, analyzing everything: facial expressions, old tweets, interview pauses, even the tone of our voice in clips that are years old. Some fans believe that certain statements in the interview now appear to show early warning signs. Others say people are reaching and reading too much into it, and honestly, both sides might have a point, because when new information or alleged information comes out, our brains automatically reframe the past. That's human nature. Now, we're surely confirmed. What we do know is that the internet has been reacting heavily. Headlines have been vague, sources have been careful with wordings, and that's where speculation starts to take over. Fans believe that timing is what makes this interview resurface, not because Cardi said anything direct, but because the themes she talked about are similar to what people think might be happening now. Again, that's interpretation, not confirmation. One moment from the interview that's been replayed a lot is when Cardi talked about how fame can amplify relationship issues instead of fixing them. She said something along the lines of how people assume money solves everything, when in reality it just gives problems a louder microphone. That quote alone has been clipped and shared thousands of times, with fans saying it appears to show she was already dealing with certain pressure. What really makes this interview hit different now is context. Context changes everything. A sentence that one feels casual can feel heavy when played back years later or under new circumstances, and according to reports, that's exactly why fans are revisiting this moment. Some are saying it feels like foreshadowing, others it's just coincidence, and some believe the internet is doing too much. All of these reactions are valid. It's also important to say this: Cardi B has always been outspoken, confident, and unapologetically herself. She's never claimed to be perfect. That's more about how honest she's always been than about any specific alleged situation. As for Stefon Diggs, according to reports, he has not publicly addressed any of the speculations, and until this happens, if it ever does, everything remains just a speculation. Not confirmed statements, no verified claims, just online chatter and fan theories circulating online. So the real question is, does the interview actually reveal something new, Or are we just projecting today's drama onto yesterday's words? That's up to you, because sometimes an interview doesn't change. We do. Our perspective shifts. Our awareness changes, and suddenly things sound different than they did before. At the end of the day, this situation is a reminder of how fast narratives can change, especially in celebrity culture. One week, an interview is forgotten, the next week, it's a headline again. And according to reports, that cycle isn't slowing down. Comment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we're keeping an eye on everything circulating online. And as always, we keep you updated. Allegedly, notified.